Hi!
We're back!
We're back! We finally made it!
Yes, it's been a hot, it's last year.
Yes, a very long minute.
Yes, but we're back in action. So much is going on.
Yeah.
So much has happened. The new PPP loan for your second draw just got rolled out, so that's cool. They have some cool features for women-owned businesses, which is awesome, and minority-owned businesses, which is super awesome, so that's exciting.
Yes.
And new presidency, so that's gonna change a ton of stuff. Personally, I don't know how I feel about it so far. I don't love him like just bulldozing into $15 an hour for minimum wage.
Oh,
That
I
makes me
saw
a little nervous.
your comment about that.
Yeah.
That's actually a goal that we've had from the very beginning. Is
Oh,
to
it's
make
always
sure,
a goal, right?
Yeah.
But, like, for brand new businesses? Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Hard.
I feel it's funny because like I feel like how I feel about everything from March 2020 on is I'm like cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
where I'm
I'm all about that. totally all about that. That's why I'm like,
oh my gosh, but like
I just
Lady Gaga's thing yesterday, I did see that and I
was it amazing?
made me cry. And J-Lo,
She's
like
got a crazy powerful voice.
so good.
Yeah.
And J-Lo, like I wanted to love her performance more. Like I love J-Lo. I love everything J-Lo does. But she, like, I don't know if they were doing something to her voice, like maybe she was auto-tuned or something, but like it didn't sound as rich and full as it normally does.
Gotcha.
So I was kind of disappointed by that, but her message was amazing. She's always amazing. So
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, why can't remember yesterday. Good hell. Can't remember what I was doing. I was doing something important and that's why I didn't see any of it. I don't know. Anyways, it doesn't even matter. What are you drinking today?
I am drinking a vanilla latte, an iced vanilla latte. So,
And it's just,
it says that first sip feeling. I'm gonna do it right now. I'm having the first sip feeling.
good old Starbucks. And I did a blonde latte today because I wanted that extra jolt.
Yeah.
Because I've
That's
got
good.
it.
I just wanted
Got a lot
like
going on.
my comfort coffee today.
Yes.
Like comfort is everything right now.
Comfort is key.
Yeah. And I'm sorry that we haven't been around. It's 100% my fault. I had a bunch of tests at the beginning of the year that kicked my butt. So I just needed a little extra time.
Which is okay, because you know what? Your health is always going to be more important.
Yes.
So we got to take care of ourselves.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, it's good. So we have a couple things to announce, I guess. So I'll start with my big news if you haven't seen it, and I'll post the link too because it's fun.
Yeah.
But Hippie Skin was featured on Good Things Utah on
Yes.
Monday, and it was a lot of fun.
It was great. Yeah, it was awesome.
I was so nervous too, and oh my gosh, I hate it. Well, I wasn't nervous. Like I'm one of those people that I don't get nervous until it's happening, and then I get nervous. And so it was really cool though because I was like, they took me into the studio, and like I was just in the background while they were filming the previous segments.
Oh yeah.
And so I got to hear what they were talking about, and it just was really in alignment with our brand. Like they were talking about sustainability and like and like no makeup selfies, and I was like, this is my jam. I'm like, did they plan this or like how does this work?
Yeah.
So it was really cool. And then
I love that you throughout that you refill the glass jars.
Yeah.
Because I always forget that, and I always need that reminder. Because I kid you not, I buy a new freaking jar every time, and I probably have 10 jars at home waiting to be refilled because I know that you do it, and then I always forget.
Yeah, bring
So
them back.
that was a great tip to tell your
Nice.
your people.
Yeah, it's hard to like, I think that's the hardest thing about going on live TV is trying to fit all of the things you want to say into this little segment. And like, they were really organized. So I've been on another segment before, and ABC4 is definitely more organized than Fox. And it's not a bad thing. I think like I had a great time at Fox. We did a great segment. They have both of them have really cute studios. And so But it's interesting to see the difference between the two. They asked me for talking points and stuff like that beforehand. And, but it's funny because like of the 4 talking points I said, they only focused on 1 because it's just so hard to cram it all in there.
Is it like 2-3 minutes? Is that
that one was 5 minutes.
5 minutes? Okay.
Yeah, so it's really hard to like cram all that information in there. And typically on these shows, they really just focus on your products. They don't really focus on your mission, you know, because you've got products there and they want to know about those. So that's kind of like one of the things. But I really liked that afterward, when they post the link, they did put a little snippet of our mission into the headline. So that was really cool.
Have you been able to track? Well, you did a promo code.
Yeah.
So you could totally track all the orders that come in and the traffic that you've gotten from that.
Yes.
So that's great.
And it's interesting too because not everybody uses the promo code, but I can still tell that they're coming from there. Because now that the link is up, I can see that the traffic's coming from their website, but we still have a promo code for new customers. And this week, my new I think that I've had like maybe 5% returning customers this week, which tells me that that segment is responsible for all of the new customers, and especially because they're in this area.
It's awesome.
But then I actually got like an order from Alabama today that used the Good Things Utah code. So
so
that's cool.
It's the sister calling up her sister and being like,
dude,
I just saw this. You gotta try it. You're gonna love it. Go to the
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
so
I love it. That's awesome.
Yeah. So that was really cool. That was a lot of fun, and I really enjoy doing those things. They definitely get me outside my comfort zone, but I really do enjoy doing those things.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's great exposure.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Like,
you
know, most of Utah has access to see that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a huge, I mean, they may not all be your target demographic.
Yeah.
But flipping cares, man.
Yeah.
That's like,
yeah.
That's gold.
So I'm going to do something you're not supposed to do, and I'm going to go turn off the heat really quick because that is noisy on the camera, and I know it. So give me just a second.
Okay, so we'll talk about the PPP, the second round. So it was pretty easy. I did it for one of my companies. I didn't do it for both, just the one. I literally filled out a form. I had to do quarterly total receipts and then quarterly expenses for 2019 and 2020, and then they compare your highest and your lowest, put those together, and then to determine if you have a 25% or higher loss in order to be eligible.
Eligible.
Yes,
that's
qualified. I was like, well, I kept wanting to say accepted. I'm like, no, you're not. It's not a program. You're not getting accepted.
Yeah.
Eligible.
Yeah.
So it was super. It was pretty easy. I haven't heard anything back yet.
They got back to me today and asked for my K1s.
Oh,
and
yeah,
my
yeah.
1065.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
I just sent that over.
With my,
yeah, it didn't ask me for it, so I was like, oh, here you go.
Yeah.
But
the bank that they did ask. They did ask for it.
Oh, cool.
So I just sent everything over. So
you probably will hear soon then, because I just barely heard back from my bank yesterday about the additional information, and I don't know who you went through, but Zion's is assigning it to local people to handle. So like my girl that I already know is the one handling it this time. Where last time it was just all like automated and kind of like
Zion. I've noticed that Zion's been doing a huge push to have a more personalized element. Like I keep getting emails saying, hey, I'm your go-to person if you need anything. And then I have like my banker at the branch that I go to, but then I have like the corporate one, and so I think they're really trying to push out a big customer service push. So that's way cool. I think that's probably
it's awesome.
Maybe why. But so we're just waiting to hear back on that. I did hear back on. So I also, for my first one, I submitted for the PPP loan forgiveness, and got all of that, so it was super easy.
So easy.
Like my account manager who handled that, she was, oh my gosh, she was so nice. She was so cool. I had everything ready, sent it over to her, and then a couple days later, she sent me an email. She's like, congratulations, and I was like, yeah.
You know what's funny is they never told me.
Oh.
They never told me that it was forgiven. I just logged in one day and the account was gone. I was like, I mean, that works.
Well, there you go.
Thanks.
Yeah.
But they were never like, we've reviewed it. It's good to go. They were just like, remove
You're
that
good.
account.
Yeah, and it was super easy.
Yeah.
So I was like, cool. I had one of my clients apply for a second EIDL loan as well.
Oh.
I didn't go into too much detail, and I haven't had time to research, so I didn't even know that was an option. I know the EIDL grant money is gone, and they haven't released additional grant funds. But as far as like the EIDL loans go, and that's what she had applied for. So I don't know. We'll keep you posted on how that goes, and if she's able to get a second round of that. I don't know too much on that. And like I said, I haven't had time to research it. But we'll see.
Yeah. I was listening to the radio, and they were talking about the business. I like really just what they're doing for small business, and this small business owner was like, "Yeah, I've gotten up to $500,000 in small business loans during the pandemic, and you know, when I look at it, it's a really big number, but then I'm just like, oh well, it's to keep my business going." And I'm like, I am freaking out about the loan that I got.
I don't know. I could do $500,000. Oh, that's so. Personally, for me, I'm right there with you. That's so much.
Oh, and then
money.
I've started my entrepreneurs. Yeah, I've started my entrepreneur certificate through Weber State, and they have this Weber lecture series or entrepreneur lecture series. And I'm like listening to this kid, and he's like, you know, I think the best time to start a business is when you're right out of school because you don't have that much to lose. And if you rack up $30,000 in credit cards, you have the rest of your life to pay it off if it fails. And I was like,
I don't know that I agree with that advice.
What kind of advice is this? Oh my gosh. I was like, if my professor asked me for a recap, I am going to be like, I don't agree with this guy, and here's why. Like,
yeah, I personally would never, ever give that
and
advice.
we hear all the time
I would say
that
bootstrap the shit out of it and hustle as hard as you can. Don't go out and get loans. I mean, sometimes you have to get loans, you have to put stuff on credit cards. I get that. Totally get that. But I don't know that I would say,
no,
it's okay. Go ahead and fail. You can pay it off the rest of your life.
Hippie Skin didn't get its first loan or use any like credit cards until I think year 3 in business.
Yes, yeah. Which I think, which I think is fine. And I think it's a little bit harder.
Maybe it was even year 4.
In a product-based business because you have to have so much product to start. Sometimes I think, you got to use a credit card or get a small loan or whatever to get it started up. We didn't do that. I didn't do that for either one of my companies. We just bootstrapped the crap out of everything and have been really smart with or as smart as this brain can be, let's be honest.
We all make mistakes.
But at some point, as we grow and continue to grow and we get larger, and in order to be able to accommodate our growth, a credit card is going to be inevitable at some point. I mean, we do have a small one that I put some stuff off because I like cash back. Yeah. And I like Sky Miles and all that good stuff.
That's why we use ours too. We just do our rotating expenses on it.
Yeah. So we just, we have small ones. But at some point, we're probably going to have to, get one of the bigger Amex cards or something like that. I don't know. I haven't.
The business credit lines are really good because they give you a
lot
of flexibility.
Like yeah, and I'm like, it's a line of credit, so you can spend and take and give and take and give and take and give and take as much or as little as you need, and the interest rate's a lot lower than a credit card. Yeah, and you can go to cash, which is always nice. Right. Credit cards, they're going to charge a ton to get.
And mine has like really good cashback deals too.
Do you do that through Zines as well?
Yeah, it's their amazing rewards or cashback. I can't remember. I didn't even know that it was a rewards card until like maybe 2 years in, or maybe a year, and I was like, what's this $1,500 like balance here? And it was just free money sitting there.
I did that with one of mine too. I don't ever check it, and I checked it the other day. It was my, I think, Capital One Quicksilver card or something like that.
Yeah, they have good rewards too.
Yeah, it was like, so super creepy because I don't even know how Amazon knew I had a Capital One Quicksilver card. Oh yeah,
they pull in your
rewards. They did, and it automatically, and I was like, ooh, shopping spree. Yeah. So I did.
It's
girl,
fun.
don't you worry, I spent all of it. Well,
Nice.
it was most of it was actually office supplies.
Yeah. I like it
Anyway,
on the business.
but it was cool.
Yeah, I like it on the
Yeah.
business side because I use those rewards to just turn around and pay it.
Yeah.
And it's just like free money that just
Yep.
happened. And so it
Right.
actually increases your capital over time
Yeah,
because you're
totally.
not using
Yeah.
that working capital to pay your expenses.
And it's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
So I think for me, the moral of that is if you're going to do credit cards for your business, do your homework. Dude, I totally just choked on my
I hate it when
Sorry
it
about
happens.
that. Goodness. Do your homework and get the cards that you get the best benefits for.
Right, and don't overextend. I think that
Yes.
I've gotten to the very tip top of my comfort zone, and it's always the conversation like, do our assets balance out our debt?
Right.
Like,
right.
if we sold our company, would we be able to wipe out the debt? And that's kind of always how we've operated that. Sometimes we get a little above, like in a period where we're losing money.
Right.
And
Which
then
is
it gets-
inevitable in business.
And then it gets way more uncomfortable. But we always operate under the assumption, like, worst case scenario, if we had to walk away today, would we be able to pay this debt back with our personal?
Right.
And
Right.
that's really like kind of how we've done it. So
And I agree with that
yeah.
100%. Because
Don't go put 30K on credit cards as an 18-year-old. That doesn't seem like the best idea, okay?
no, it's
But I was gonna say,
It's not.
men are statistically far more risky with money in general and then in business. And that's why there are so many successful businessmen, because they are willing to take those bigger risks, but they also fail way more too.
yeah.
So I think that's important to understand. Like, women are way less risky. And I
Yeah.
think that that's why I feel like it makes us not better. It doesn't make us better, but it makes us more like sustainable, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
because we're less likely to fail.
Right.
Or maybe we are. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Like, maybe don't take that to the bank. But I think that women are more cautious
Yeah.
in how we do business.
See, and I'm all about risk, but it's got to be a strategic,
Right.
calculated
Yeah.
risk.
I'm
You know,
not just gonna
you
be
gotta-
like, I'm gonna take this 200K loan and like pay myself and like do
Right.
this and hope for the best. And I'm not saying that men do that, but that is a mistake that I could see somebody who's young and naive making.
Right, because they haven't.
Because
been
they gotta
through
pay
it.
themselves,
Yeah.
you know, and it's kind of just like,
Wait, whoa, entrepreneurs get paid? How did I miss this memo? Just kidding.
oh man, I want to announce our other big thing because it ties into that, but I'm not going to. We have another thing coming up that we'll talk about hopefully in the next couple weeks. So anyway, yeah. Do you have any sexism you'd like to share? I mean, we kind of just talked about it a little bit, but that was us being sexist.
Gosh, I was thinking about this, and I was like, I totally do, but I don't know. At this point, I'm just like, let it roll right off the shoulder. Don't even pay any attention. Don't care. Whatever. You do you.
I feel the same.
Yeah.
We encounter it so much that we're just kind of like numb to it, and we're like, whatever. So
I've come to the point where I absolutely refuse to let anybody or anything, one, put hate in my heart, because hate is way too big a burden to carry.
hey, do great.
Yes. And two, like, we don't have to have the same views and opinions. Totally cool. I met with a gentleman, that's what it was, I met with a gentleman, super old school cat. Oh man, we were like night and day on our views and how we think and this, but we can still have a totally cool conversation.
Yeah.
And that's like where I'm at with that, with sexism and stuff. Like, cool, I don't know where you came from. I don't know your background. Maybe that's how you were raised. Maybe it wasn't. Regardless, that's how you feel.
Right.
I'm probably gonna comment in some smart ass way. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But
because awareness is key. Like,
Yeah,
bringing awareness to the situation.
I'm just gonna let it. I'm
We
not
don't-
gonna let it irritate me like I
Right.
usually do, or
We
like
don't-
I typically would before.
And we don't need to like make people feel bad for the
Yeah.
things that, I mean, they might not know any better,
Right.
But if we bring
The way
awareness
we're
to it and
raised.
say, hey, like, this is not great,
Like, why would you? Why would you say something like that? What's wrong with your brain? You know,
Right,
probably
right.
not the best way to
Yeah.
approach it.
Yeah.
I may have approached it that way before.